All right, if you will, let's come to order. Call to order the November meeting of Budget and Finance. First piece, you have your October the 20th minutes. Let's look through those. Have a motion by Mr. Ford, second by Commissioner Chris Gregory. Any discussion? That motion is to take these as written. If no discussion, all those in favor, let it be known by stating aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. The next piece, it's that time of year where we would elect officers. We do welcome on a new member here with us. Glad to have you there, rolling with us this time. And we'll see if we can continue along here. His name was left off for this, but it will be taken care of in the future. I missed that the other day. I'll take that for sure. So my apologies there, Mr. Gregory. At this time, though, it will be time to elect officers up for election. Hopefully, Miss Amy will continue if y'all wish to do that with the writing of the minutes. But if you wish to go with all three, you're welcome to change them that way. You have a office of chair, vice chair, and secretary. I do want to say this before we go into those elections. I appreciate the time that has been spent in the seat I'm sitting in. If y'all know me, I care a lot about the county's money and the finances of this county, and I've got a pretty good grasp of them. But with that said, I am not going to serve as chair or vice chair to this committee going forward. I have made that pretty clear to the mayor, some others. I'm stepping aside. I will not be running for the reelection of my district seat this next year either is the reason. And I think someone needs to take the opportunity to sit here and learn this same seat. There are a lot of pieces that come this way, and I think it needs that opportunity. I don't mind serving, as I said, this year out and being there to help in any way, form, or fashion. But I will leave that on the table. I do now say that chair, vice chair, and secretary are up for. I will take nominations. Do I have any nominations? Mr. Ford? Nominate Chris Gregory for chair. I hear a nomination of Chris Gregory for chair. Do I hear any other nominations? Do I hear any other nominations? If not, do I hear a motion to cease nominations and elect by acclamation? Motion by Commissioner Dennis. Second by Commissioner Ford. To elect by acclamation Chris Gregory as chair. It is your seat. Acclamation, we can vote on it. My apologies, that is correct. Motion by acclamation is generally not, but we will vote. All those in favor, let it be known by stating aye. Opposed? I'm willing to do it, just tell them. It does carry.
Thank you. I'm not sure whether to say thank you or God have mercy on your collective souls. probably will, but also want to thank Mr. Gully for his service these time, and I'll most likely will be picking your brain. It's more than 1 point over the coming year. All right, with that being said, take nominations for vice chair. I think Bubba has been in that role. Do you want to stay as vice chair, or do you want to? I Jerry. All right, have a nomination for Bubba. Second by Jeff Gregory. Are there any other nominations? Are there any other nominations? All right, if not, we'll, all those in favor of Bubba Gregory as vice chair, say aye. Opposed? Yeah, no, you're right. Like I said, I will be picking Landon's brain at some point. Would entertain a motion to nominate or to elect Bubba as vice chair by acclamation. Okay, okay. Second by Will. All those in favor say aye. Opposed? Congratulations, Bubba. And Miss Amy, are you willing to remain as secretary? All right, anybody want to nominate? Okay, if a motion is second, that to by acclamation. Okay, all those in favor say aye. Opposed? Thank you, Miss Amy.
Just a statement there. Generally, I believe parliamentary procedures on that one are three statements of any other nominations, any other nominations, any other nominations before acclamation takes place. Might keep that in the future.
I will bear that in mind. Thank you, sir. All right, with that being said, move into the financial statements. Everybody should have the trustees' cash balance for October. Everybody would review those, and if there are any questions on that. If there are no questions, I would entertain a motion to approve the trustee report. We have Beverly and Jerry with the second. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Opposed? Alrighty. Move into the financial summaries. Everybody should have the year-to-year comparison sheet. Property tax coming in strong, 70.6% through in. This is September on here. I'm assuming that should be October. Okay. It says 70.6% property tax 101, revenue 39.5%. Still in on revenues, expenses 31.8%. And we are at 33.3% for the year. So coming in ahead on revenues and under on expenses, which is always good. Yes, sir. Certainly.
Cole, you here again. What you're doing, you're getting 2% rather than having to go pay 5-6% at the bank. So it's really a good deal for us, and it helps property owners too.
Yeah, we definitely have seen since that discount came into play, definitely have seen the revenues come in strong
And
in
the
October,
dollars.
November.
Since that was adopted years ago, Miss Amy might correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think we've ever had to go borrow money to operate on. If we do, I don't remember it.
Righty. All right, well, move into the individual financial statements. Look, 101. Be on page 6 of your packets. Again, revenues through October at 39.54%. And revenues, if you don't count the grant line items, at 48.65%. So very strong on the revenue side. Expenditures, 31.8% total, 34.3%, not counting the grant line items. So the 34.3 maybe kind of a little ahead of, that 33.3% for the year, maybe a little higher, but the total of 31.8 is good there. Anyone have any questions in the 101? Jerry?
Line item 45-610, trustee. I was curious to ask why that it's 58.6% now, which is more than half what was even estimated it will be.
Amy, any?
My guess is that we had a pretty big portion of sales tax come in this month. The trustee gets 1% of commissions. We had a $300,000 deposit of sales tax this month alone. And so that probably accounts for that line item also being up.
Thank you, Ms. Amy.
Does anyone else have any questions in the 101?
Just one.
Mr. Gully?
Miss Amy, that trustees revenue being that high in this case, it goes directly into the 101. It's not going into the trustees account. Is that correct? It goes back into 101 general fund.
Are there any other questions in 101? Jerry?
Ernie, we had budgeted 19,000 for beer tax. It's already collected over 50% of it in 4 months, which is a good thing. Somebody drinking a lot of beer.
All right, if there are no other questions in 101, then we will move to the 111 Urban Services, page 17 of your packet. Total revenue 13.6%, but if you don't count the grant line items at 40.3, so coming in strong there again. Expenditures 9.8% but 24.9% not counting the grants, which of course the biggest one on that is the roughly 2 million for the Ward School. Oh, oh. We did.
Page 10,
Like I said, I'm gonna be learning my way through this. So, yeah, okay, page 10, the sheriff's expenses, sheriff department expenses, let's see.
sorry.
No, go ahead.
187 has overtime pay at 220%, 0.98%. In which I did contact Miss Amy in regards to this. Overtime is, she said it's to be corrected at a later date. I just wondered if there was others that had questions about that we might need to elaborate on.
Yeah, we probably should, because yeah, that, of course, the packet states, the sheriff has a full-time patrol deputy being paid out of this function. So, Amy, do we know what the actual number on that should be, or ballpark? If it's at 220.98%, but it says overtime is supposed to be corrected. So what is it supposed to be corrected to?
Well, what it is that it is a patrol officer that is being paid out of your courtroom security. So it's a question for the sheriff of why that employee is being paid out of courtroom security when it's actually a patrol officer. Because a patrol officer is going to get a lot of overtime. There is nothing else in this function that would cover that overtime. He is the only full-time employee being paid out
Gotcha.
of this.
I had questioned Miss Amy about this, and I just think that needs to be corrected and appropriated out of a different line item of where it should come instead of out of courtroom security. Just me personally, just because this does red flag you here. So I don't know how we can actually go to correct that or what the sheriff needs to do to correct that line item. But me personally, that patrol officer needs to be funded out of the regular and not out of jail room security. That's why I wanted to backtrack.
Yeah, I appreciate you bringing that up, and yeah.
And I may not know the full history of that full-time position being in the courtroom security. He's always had a full-time employee paid out of courtroom security. I don't think it's ever been a patrol, but again, I could be completely wrong on that. I wish Sheriff Russell was here to answer those questions. So I just know that that's always been one full-time and 3 part-time in courtroom security.
Mr. Ford?
But I heard he lost some of his men. So part of that might be where he had to work some of these guys considerable more than they've been working.
I do know for a fact that he has lost part of a few members, but I do know also for a fact that this one individual, I do believe, has been on patrol. So still, again, it needs to be appropriated out of the correct line item. Just me personally.
No, I would agree. Sam, you think is that something we probably would have to do a budget amendment at a later point? Okay.
It definitely would have to be a budget amendment at some point this year. Because I do not know how much overtime this individual is going to rack up over the next year. Do you want me to do an amendment every month or just wait until later on down the road? I agree with that.
I don't think you need to have to do, like Ms. Overman said, you don't need to do month to month budget amendments. it needs to come out of the correct line item so we can get a ballpark figure of what we're dealing with instead of month to month, because like she said, that's gonna put more work on Miss Amy and she doesn't deserve to have that.
I can't argue with that. I'll give Ray a call tomorrow and see how he wants to go about doing that to get that moved to the correct line item. But yeah, I would think one budget amendment ought to suffice, whether it's, obviously we wouldn't meet in December. If we did it in January, do you think that would be sufficient, or is that something you would want to try to do sooner? Okay,
It's not has to be done right now.
okay.
You need a motion on
Okay, now, I'll give Sheriff Russell a call tomorrow and see what we need to do to get that in the correct line item. And again, thank you, Beverly, for bringing that up. All right, the courtroom security, page 10, are there any other questions in that part of the sheriff's budget? All right, page 11, which is the general fund for the sheriff's department. Please review, and if anyone has any questions in that line, on that page. Okay, well, what are your questions? I mean, like I said, I can ask Sheriff Russell about those things.
Jerry done spent 50% of his estimated money for the year.
Which numbers are you looking at, Mr. Ford?
Well, towing service one, drug and medical supplies. I imagine data processing, computer. And 79, that's dues and membership.
Dues, to my clarification, dues and membership are some of the one-time annual fees that have just now posted, and those will be, you'll see them make a difference next month. Miss Amy, on towing and services, would that be towing of our personal vehicle, of the county vehicles, or other vehicles having to have those towed?
No, that's
Do you know?
actually community vehicles, which is reimbursed by those that had their cars towed. So it just kind of washes out at the end of the year.
Does he use purchase order numbers, Miss Amy?
I'm sorry.
He still has to use POs. Another line item on 499 on the sheriff's expenditures. Other supplies and materials. I had questioned Miss Amy earlier about this one. This one could be related to just batteries. Any kind of miscellaneous kind of like supply, it kind of all balls into one line item. That was enough for me. I didn't, because they might have to have new batteries, whether it be for a vehicle or even their radios of some sort, to my understanding. Did I Is that not right, Miss Amy? And just to go ahead and make a note, dues and memberships, you'll see that in some other line items, even for ambulance, not that I'm trying to jump ahead, but you will see that. And those are some of those one-time fees too as well. Or annual fees, let me say, not one-time fees, annual fees.
Thank you. Are there any other questions in the sheriff's department part of this? The pages 11 and 12. All right, got the, of course, this, school resource officers, page 12. Nothing seems to be out of the ordinary there, expense wise. Of course, we get the grant from the state to pay for the SRO salaries. Page 13, drug enforcement, sex offender registry. And jail, which starts on 13, goes to 14. If no questions there, pages 14 and 15, the workhouse. Then page 16, the drug and alcohol programs, which look to have no expenditures at all yet this year. All right, if there are no other questions in the sheriff's budget, now we'll move to page 17, 111, urban services. Like I said, 13.6 on the revenue, 40.3, not counting grants. 9.8 expenditures and 24.9%, not counting the grants. Property tax, 63.2%, so not quite as high percent wise as the general fund, but still well ahead of where you want to be for this point in the year. If there are no questions there, we'll move to page 18, Sheriff's Department. I think the main one I see there was the 718 motor vehicles. I'm guessing what we purchased came in a little more than what we were expecting. Are there any questions in the Sheriff's Urban Services budget? If not, move to page 19, 116 solid waste. And total revenues 52.2%, 70.6 on property tax. Expenditures 22.2%. So again, well ahead of where you would expect to be at this point of the year. The convenience center only 26.5% of expense, so we're still in good shape there. Any questions from 116? If not, move to page 20, 118 ambulance service. Revenues 48.2%, expenditures 26.5%, and 70.6% on the property tax, so in good shape there. Patient charges only shows 16.9%, but you'll note that runs 2 months behind, so
Do we know why it's running 2 months behind?
So you bill for the collections, you don't really get that money until the next month. And then I have to write the check, which ends up being the first of the following month. So it's 2 months behind. Because it's a separate account from what's in the trustee, I have to clear it out of Wilson Bank.
all right. Page 21, you'll see expenditures for ambulance service. Are there any questions on the ambulance service expenses? If not, then of course, page 23 is the core civic fund. Obviously, as we know, that those are pass-through funds. State sends us money, it sits for a little bit, and it moves along to core civic. So that's not. And that's not anything that we really have any control over. Page 24, county drug fund. Yes, sir.
Backing up to the CCA core civic funds.
Mhm.
When do we have the opportunity to negotiate with them?
I defer to the mayor on that one. Okay.
Next year's when that contract's renegotiated. It's June.
So we're getting 300,000 from them right now.
Per the terms of the current contract, yes.
Mr. Ford, that is the the other committee that Mr. Beller had set up. that is, I do believe, working in regards to the new contract.
Yes, I can't remember the name of it. I'll, yeah, I'll call it contract committee for lack of a better term, but yeah, they're supposed to meet and put some recommendations together and get back to the full body, but we haven't heard anything from them yet, so there's really nothing to report on that as of yet. Pages 26 and 27 are the 127, 128, the ARPA funding. Little bit of revenue, little bit of expenditures. Believe one of our budget amendments will have a expenditure from 128. Are there any questions on the ARPA? If not, page 28, debt, 151 debt service. And 48.1% of revenues, 21.8 on expenditures. A lot of our payments on that will be look like in November or May, so probably see a little bit of increase in this next month, but then not too much more probably until May or June. Any questions on debt service? Page 29, 171, our capital projects fund. And of course, you'll see the 300,000 that we got from Core Civic, the current fiscal year, and 54,250 this year from the increase in our impact fee, which we directed into this fund. Current balance on that, like 1,037,477. Any questions there? Page 30, highway fund. Again, the only contribution we make to this is the little bit of property tax, a little over 115,000. And again, 70.6 of that has come in. Expenditures 10.4%. Page 31, the 141 school budget, which again, we only appropriate the funds. We don't really say they go to. School system is at 19.3% of revenues thus far, 67.5% on property tax. Looks like their local option sales tax coming in strong, 47.0%. Any questions on the school revenues? If there are no questions, then I'd entertain a motion to approve the financial summaries. Okay, got Bubba with the motion, Jerry with the second. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Opposed? Thank you. Now moving into budget amendments, we have 4 tonight, and looks like 2 of these are fund balance. 10107F, fund balance draw of 20,000 for purchase and installation of audio visual equipment in the two main courtrooms of the County Justice Center per request of the judges and courtroom staff.
Motion to approve.
All right. Motion by Beverly, second by Leslie. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Opposed? Thank you. Next budget amendment, page 33, 10108F. $8,511 for the trustee's office for data processing. Looks like the amount for software was amended in the 25 budget, but did not carry over to the 26 budget. Software platform was upgraded due to the previous one becoming obsolete. Okay, motion by Leslie, second by Beverly. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Opposed? Page 34, 12803 park allocation, 174,000. This is reallocating unused playground funding to be used for resurfacing of the park walking trail and also updating the master plan for the park, which is required every few years. And it had been mentioned in Parks Committee that we have to update that master plan in order to be able to apply for certain grants going forward. Okay, motion by Beverly, or motion by Leslie, second by Beverly, excuse me. Any discussion here? Mr. Gully?
Just a cautionary one. The 50,000 for the updating of the master plan through Kimley Horn. When we received the first master plan, it sort of came in more like a looking at the park from the top of Mount Everest, you might say. And it became more knowledgeable that we'd spent $50,000 to update a plan that didn't even fit in our park. They had lack of knowledge of our park size, of where areas were. I caution spending 50 grand on that. I know there's a goal to apply for the next one, which I understand, but spending money just to hope to get more money to spend later, with something that may not even fit, I caution us at that movement.
May I?
Yeah, please.
What's the solution? What's an alternative? We have to spend it. I mean, we have to update the plan, right? So to be able to apply for grants.
It would sound like the alternative is more of a push to ensure that we get a plan that fits our park. There were areas that didn't even fit inside the ground of our park, quite a bit of that, actually.
So that would fall on the Parks Committee to meet with Kimley Horn, that's right.
I don't know how they're going about that the last time this grant was written, and I'm sorry that we're talking just out of turn here to each other. The last time this took place, it took place well lengthier than a month's time.
Sure.
Yeah, if memory serves, the part of the putting this master plan together required some public hearings and such. So I assume that will be part of the process this time as well. So, you know, obviously that would be kind of concerned. I think we'd want to bring up, during those public hearings to.
Might caution you, I believe it has to be done before January. I don't think that time exists in this timeline.
Okay, it'll happen. So we will make sure we get that taken care of. All right, I've got a motion and a second on this one. Any other discussion? Oh.
Well, that master plan was done before I was mayor and the parameters of the park were not clearly defined. I assure you that the parameters of the park are clearly defined now and they know exactly the boundaries of the park. We met with Kimberly Horn this past week, and discussed the fact that there is a timeline to get this master plan done so we can apply for those grants in the fall. So it's pretty timely that we move forward.
Thank you, sir.
How often do we have to pay them 50,000 to do this, to keep doing this?
You have to
Every year,
update-
every 5 years?
You have to update the plan every 5 years, correct? Also, the consideration is in order to consider a new swimming pool on this master plan, you've probably got 2 or 3 years before you can get that built, even as we push forward now. So, and the court will have to decide, and I think what I want to bring to the court is a couple of options. If you want a pool included in that master plan, or if you'd rather consider ballparks, but the court will have to decide what to do. We're looking at another grant possibly to resurface the existing tennis courts and possibly have a pickleball court. But we think we can get another grant to do that, separate from the grant that would come after the master plan.
Okay. Thank you, Mayor. Any other discussion on this budget amendment? All in favor, say aye. Opposed? All right, last budget amendment, 14108, $7,000, for general purpose school budget. It's like this is a draw from their fund balance to account for an increase in county disposal fees. I have a motion to approve by Mr. Ford. Is there a second? Second by Ms. Overman. Any discussion on this one? Mr. Gully?
Miss Amy, was this negotiated at a set rate now? Okay.
Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye. Opposed? All right, that gets us through our budget amendments. Next item on our agenda was a discussion on special funds ARPA funding update. You should see pages 36 and 37 in your packets. Fund 127 is like what we have left unallocated there, 94,181. You'll see a list of the items that fund was expended on. It includes the courthouse HVAC system, EMS certification classes, renovation of the health department, match for the water department, ARPA employee supplements. Page 37, 128, ARPA. Original total was a little over 3.1 million received on that. Unallocated balance there, 279,313. Again, some of the expenditures on that have included a new generator for the admin building, patrol vehicles for the sheriff's department, brush truck for the fire department, rescue Tahoe, new ambulance, the mental health grant that has been discussed here at the full court previously, new trash truck, funding for the new playground, a little bit of tourism, of course, the match for the playground and purchase of the Front Street property. Any questions or discussion on the ARPA? believe that gets us through our agenda. Are there any other items anyone on the committee wants to bring up? I'm sorry, are there any other items that anyone on the committee wants to discuss this evening? Okay. Forward.
Mr. Tommy Belcher and myself, along with considerable help from Mr. Beller there, went ahead and
Mr. Ford?
tried to get a wheel tax.
Mr. Ford, I'm gonna, I believe that's on an item for the full court to discuss during our work session this evening. So if you don't mind, I'd like to hold off till we get everybody here. Thank you, sir. All right. Is there any public comment? Seeing none, would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Leslie and Jerry? All in favor, say aye.
Wow.
We are adjourned.